Hello, this is the TradeSite US Stocks Futures and Forex Market Preview for Thursday the 8th and Friday the 9th of December 2022. Remember, we are in the futures quarterly contract roll week. I think we saw some of that today. We'll look at how flat it was. But usually it's the Thursday a little bit and then the Friday that are dead when we roll the contracts, but today was just horrific. One of the flattest days I've ever seen. We can laugh about the VWAP in a few minutes. Here's a look at the dollar index daily chart. Has gone nowhere. Pound dollar also very flat. The euro dollar also very flat this week. So here's the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market and futures form, and I'm going to throw on our sneaky little seeker. And we never got to the 13. I didn't get to 12 really here, but we're pulling back. So again, if we can get two more highs up there, we get a 13 sell signal. That might be interesting. We'll see what happens. S&P cash, nothing separate from what you would expect. NASDAQ 100 was down a little bit for the session. Russell 2000 also down a bit. Crude oil sitting at 72.68. That's pretty low for crude oil. Should start to see things get better at the pump. Also might mean signs of a weakening economy though, right? Here's gold. When we look at some of the other stock charts, look at the Bitcoin, still sitting around 16,700. You got TLT, the 20-year bond ETF rallying. So bonds up, rates down. Bonds have made their way back up quite a bit off the lows here. Partially probably from Powell's comments. The VIX closes at 2259. Remember, it had dipped back into the teens. Advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ plus 504. I'm sorry, the New York was plus 504. The trend closes at trend closes at 3.21, which puts the 10-day moving average at 1.17, which is not a signal at all for us. And here's the ES front month futures contract. Let's go to 5-minute candles for this and look at how just silly flat this was today. The last half of the chart there is today's action. Just dead. Most of the day spent inside the opening 5-minute candle, and not much different on the NASDAQ either. Just untradeable mess. I'm glad we didn't try anything. Really just not worth it. Apple pulled back a little bit. Amazon also pulled back a bit. Meta kind of flat. Google pulled back. Goldman Sachs was down just slightly. Netflix holding up slightly. Tesla down just a little bit. Again, nothing really happened in any of these stocks because the market just didn't move. Zoom, however, looks ugly. We may get a chance to short this thing yet. In terms of economic data left, remember the big thing is really the quarterly contract roll, but in terms of economic data left this week, we got the weekly initial and continuing jobless claims numbers on Thursday, PPI on Friday at 8:30, and University of Michigan sentiment at 10 a.m. on Friday, and that's it. So pretty tame and not expecting much with the contract roll, especially on Friday. Charts as usual, brought to you by NinjaTrader. If you haven't taken a free trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks.